This is Montevideo, Uruguay, and it's home to one of the 7 disc golf courses in South America that aren't in Colombia. And it was founded by this guy, Mauro, who found out about disc golf through suggested YouTube videos and has been desperately trying to grow the sport in a region of the world that has been forgotten about by those in the disc golf community with money and the power to make change. On a trip to South America for a wedding in Argentina, I met up with Mauro on hole 1 and got out to a great start with a birdie. While Mauro works with the city to get a permanent course installed, currently they all communicate on WhatsApp as for when they want to play, bring a basket, and then carry it from hole to hole. On hole 2, Pete told me that it was a straight shot, so I did my best to do so and gave myself a long birdie putt. Hole 3 is just behind this thick horizontal branch, and I managed to put myself at the perfect position to have a highly obstructed putt.
The most obstructed putt of my life.
Ultimately, I came close, hitting on the basket, and then I tapped out an easy par. Soon, other disc golfers began to join us. Some even came to play their first ever round. Which hole 4 is honestly a hard hole to start out on because it's a fairly uphill shot. But Mauro had an excellent throw that put himself to about 5 feet.
Nice.
I tried to follow it up on the new basket that had been brought, but my putt ended up chaining out. Mauro, on the other hand, took an easy tap in. After a quick mate break, the Southern Cone's favorite beverage, we stepped up to the longest hole on the course, which is about 300 some feet. And while this is not that far, keep in mind this is a beginner's course. And I managed to put it pretty close, but then I just juiced it too much. Then, to the mate man's surprise, he drained a long putt. Hole 6 is a scenic downhill shot, and at this point we had created a gallery of people to watch our little group. So I knew that I needed to make this putt.
Thank you.
Hole 7 is the hardest hole on the course, and it's tucked back in this grove of trees. Pete put out a great forehand, but was ultimately a little short. And with the energy of the gallery spurring me on, I pumped an overstable fairway, and then to bury another birdie putt. After teaching the newbies how the 10-meter rule worked, we stepped up to this tight tunnel shot. Personally, I thought I had a great drive. Then, Mauro banged this putt home right in my face. Then, stepping up to my putt, I realized it actually had a lower ceiling than I thought, and I put it just barely short. But I had an opportunity to redeem myself with a wide open shot, and I forgot to ask the distance on this one, and I ended up paying for it because I left it pretty short and ultimately failed to convert. But apparently this was a great round as I still hold the course record. Beyond this though, this was probably one of the coolest rounds I've ever played. Seeing people marvel at this sport that we love and ultimately want to join in, and seeing Mauro's vision for disc golf coming to life was nothing short of extraordinary. But there is one small problem. While disc golf is growing in Latin America from organizations like the Paul Macbeth Foundation and even DD tournaments like in Cocoyoc, this is primarily happening in Central America, with the exception of Colombia. Outside of Colombia, there are only 7 courses in South America for 334 million people, and 5 of those are in one city in Brazil. And that city only has 1 permanent course. If you remove the 5 courses in Sao Paulo, Brazil, there's only 1 permanent course at a llama farm in Ecuador, and then the temp course that you just saw in the relatively forgotten country of Uruguay. If you took the population of Colombia and divided it by the number of disc golf courses, you're gonna get that there's about 1.9 million people per disc golf course. But for the rest of South America, there's 1 disc golf course for every 47.7 million people. But until funds come in to help the communities be able to play more disc golf, they're only going to be frequented by the occasional tourists and the small groups that really love this sport. But perhaps with a little bit of support from the growing disc golf companies and organizations like the Paul Macbeth Foundation, it can grow into something so much more. If you like this video, traveling to Uruguay is what actually inspired me to start a YouTube channel. So if you want to see more cool stories from courses that have never been filmed before, then please subscribe. I'll see you then. And tell me below in the comments what you think is the cure for disc golf in South America.